Hi, welcome back to Raquel Lee Las Vegas. It's me, Raquel Lee. I hopefully sound a little bit more normal than I did yesterday. It's going. It's a thing, but it's going. But hi, how's everybody doing? What's today? Tuesday? No? Okay. Anyway, all right. So, like I said yesterday, I'm going to be talking about relationships a lot this week. So we're going to jump right into it. We're just going to go there. We're getting in there. Got asked, actually, I believe this was today, I got asked, when you get older, things just run together on you, all right? So this could have been yesterday, but I'm pretty sure it was this morning. Just don't judge, all right? Just move forward. Anyway, so the discussion is whether sexting is, I don't want to say whether it's appropriate, because that's not what I mean. The way it was asked was somebody who's in a relationship has been made to feel bad about not sexting, and their reason is not silly, but it put this person in tears because their significant other made them feel bad about it. Now, they also, in general, don't, I don't know like exactly how much sex they're having, but they're not having a lot of it, and they feel bad. So the question that was asked to me was, should I feel bad about not sexting or having as much sex with my partner? And my response was, well, no, that's nothing to feel bad about. And so as I started listening to how it was making this person feel, I figured I would change my topic and talk about this today. So, that being said, I'm curious to know what everybody's thoughts are as far as sexting in a relationship. Now, the reason why this person feels bad is because they're like, I feel like it's something that kids do. It's not my thing. I'm not super into it. And I'm not saying it's childish, because I mean it has its purpose. And again, I've said more than enough times, that's my opinion. It's not like it's a fact, but I mean it's not necessarily that it's childish, but you tend to do that sort of thing when you're younger in general. Now, as an adult, I'm not much older than the person that was asking me about this, but they've got an earlier relationship also. I don't think they've been together for very long, so this is just something that they've just started having an issue with. And I want to say I'm like 6 or 7 years older. I mean, it's a little bit, but it's not something that I would consider as being in completely different age brackets. So I don't feel like our perception of this would be that different. But when I was like a teenager, I feel like it was much more cool to do the whole sexting thing, but that was because, it's like the same concept as passing notes in high school, right? Is that just me? Like I feel like it's more enticing because of the fact that, you're younger, that it's kind of like a taboo thing when you're younger and not really supposed to be involved in that. Like, I don't know, as an adult, I think it's the concept of like receiving a picture from somebody. It's kind of like, really? That's what you want to do right now? Like, you don't really take it that seriously when you get older. Like, when you're younger, I feel like, yeah, you'd be into it, but I mean, I'm 30 and I'm sitting here like, I don't know. I'm not, like, it's not bad. It's just, I can understand why somebody wouldn't be into it. Like, it's not, I don't know, it's not the first thing people think about when they go to entice their partner in their relationship. You know what I mean? So then it got to the other half of it. Well, anytime we, get ready to have sex, this person is usually too tired and this, that, and a third, but they're making me feel bad about not sexting them in that moment because they're always in the mood. Now I've been in that position, and some people who know me are probably laughing at some of the things in this video right now. But I mean, I get that women, believe it or not, women are a lot hornier than you would think. So if that is too much for y'all, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, we're going into this conversation, so plug your ears if you don't want to talk about it. But like, as far as having sex in your relationship, whether it's early or not, girls just tend to be a lot more hornier than men seem to realize. Like, everybody, I think like the misconception is that men want it more than women. I honestly truly believe that women always want it way more than the man does, or even just in their significant other. I can't speak for a girl on girl or guy on guy relationship, so unfortunately I can't give that part of the perspective. But in general, women just tend to be horny on a regular basis, I feel like. And so when it came down to that question, I was like, well, if you aren't in the mood, you don't want to necessarily like put all the responsibility on your partner to like get you in the mood, but it seems like in their situation, their clocks are just always off. And I'm like, well, talking about communication again, like, why don't y'all sit down and come up with like a compromise that works for the both of you? You know, in our workplace, the person that's having the issue can't really sit around sexting all day. It's not really that kind of environment, so it's understandable why they're naturally not going to be in the mood for that. But to be made to feel bad for it is something that could be eliminated through the communication. Like, honey, you know that I can't sit here and think about that, so it's not going to be on my brain. I'm not going to be in the mood to do that with you regardless. But I feel like it's wrong for their partner to make them feel bad about not being able to and not really wanting to, because you have to also be respectful of the fact that, like, if that's not their thing, that's like if you're into like S&M and your partner isn't, like, you can't get mad at them for that. It's unfair. Like, you could try it, but if you're not into it, you're just not into it. Like, it's not your cup of tea. Simple as that. So going back into the sex thing, it's like, well, you can't be mad at them for being tired all the time, but you guys have to find a balance so that y'all aren't, you know, in tears during the day because you made the other person feel bad. Like, that's silly. That being said, now, again, I've kind of like talked about them and then given my opinion. I'm curious to know what you guys think. What would you think would be a better way of handling that situation? Like, if it's your relationship and your partner doesn't like one of those things, like, what are you going to do about it? I mean, obviously the clear answer is talk about it and figure it out. But I mean, do you have a suggestion on something that could be done in place of that? Now, I personally don't, I'm not saying I don't have this problem, like, oh yeah, that's not an issue for me. That's not what I mean. I don't have this problem in the sense of I'm with my husband all day at work, so I don't have to sext. Like, on break, we spend the time together. Like, I can just talk to him, or vice versa. Not to get all, like, weird. We don't do that. I'm just saying, like, it's not something I think about. Like, I'm not saying I've been out of the game for, like, ever, but it's not something I think about. Like, I don't know. That's not a normal issue for me. So, I mean, yeah, I can give, like, an honest answer on what I would do if I were in the situation, but as far as like actual experience, like, if you guys have gone through this, I'm curious to know, like, what do you do when your partner's not into something that you're into? Do you like try to coax them into it? Do you like try to change their interest? Do you compromise? Do you just 86 it all together? Do you get rid of the relationship? Like, what do you do? Me, I'll work with somebody, you know, I'll work with somebody if there's certain things that we're just not both into. But that's a personal preference and shows about my personality. Like, not everybody's into that. Some people will be like, oh, you're not into it? Cool, bye. So I'm kind of curious to know. So definitely leave comments or message me and all that fun stuff. I really am interested to see what other encounters like this kind of go like for other people, because I don't know, because it's never really been a thing for me. I really want to know what that looks like for somebody else. And oh, excuse me, sorry, at least I'm not coughing though. Boom, 2 points for me. yeah, I'm just curious as to, how that kind of works in relationships, new relationships, seasoned relationships, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm not saying that it was an odd question so much that, like, it's unlikely. Like, no, I just personally am not dealing with that on a regular basis. So I don't know if there's worse scenarios, better scenarios. I'm not familiar enough with that. So I don't want to give what may come off as a biased opinion because of the fact that I'm just not experienced with that level or type of issue. That being said, inspire daily, empower daily, repeat that process once a day, every day, and leave comments below. I want to know what you would do in that situation. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.